hell is going on? Hello everyone, my name is Analyticalplum and welcome back to my channel. So I decided I'm going to go back to one of my classic videos of just talking about stuff I see on the internet.
Oh God.
And the latest thing to plague me and keep me up at night is the book community. Now, I'm not looking down on it, I'm not spitting at it, considering I was once a part of that community back in the pandemic. I did have a lapse of judgment. I'm kidding, it's not that bad, it's just there are bad apples in every single community and the vocal majority just seem to be the front of everything. And I'm just gonna do a little dive into what's been going on because there has been quite a bit of drama popping up on my For You page. And as we know, there's a big movie that has just been released that's caused a bit of a stir, so stay around for that one. But before we get into it, I would love if you would consider subscribing. I do post twice a week, but don't hold me to that. And if you do love my videos, or if you just want to show some support, I would love if you would leave a like. It does help me out a ton. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So as I said, there has been quite a lot of drama popping up on my For You page, and it is specifically about this one creator. Now, I'm not going to say their name, but I am going to show their videos just because, you know, I don't want to add on to any hate that they probably already are getting. I'm actually quite happy that people are reading more now, but the only issue with this creator is she has some takes and opinions that don't actually go well with everyone, which isn't surprising, but her opinions have caused a bit of a stir. So it's mainly around this book called Six of Crows. If you don't know about it, I would definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite books, but I will leave it at that for now and let's watch this video.
The only reason I got through it so much of this book is because I was reading it on the Kindle. Because once again, the tiny words and how many words there are per page wasn't doing it for me. I also saw a lot of people telling me that I have to read the series before these, like the Bone and Shadow or whatnot. This was not advertised as part of the other series. I do understand that if I read the other series, I'll understand the word. I don't care. I signed up to read 2 books. Now y'all are trying to get me to read 3 more books before I even get to the one I want to read. No, get that shit out of here.
So I included that just for a bit of context because you can see it better than I can explain it, and there wasn't anything too bad about this video, but it provides a lot of context for what I'm going to say later on. So essentially, this creator isn't having a fun time reading Six of Crows, which it makes sense. Oh, it don't make sense. It's fair enough is what I wanted to say. Everyone has different tastes, everyone has different likes, people comprehend things differently. It's just the way it is. That's fair enough. But it's the things that come after this is when it gets a bit like, I mean, it already was a bit, you know, because she started swearing at everyone for giving her recommendations, which I don't think they were really demanding for her to read it. It was just more so, you know, world building, because she seemed a bit confused and they were trying to help her out and she was just swearing at everyone. So, yeah. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Everything I'm going to show you next just goes downhill.
I stumble on this quote and I feel like not only every single person needs to hear this in their life, but I also fear it might be the best book quote I've ever read. Boys will bring you flowers, but someday you'll meet a boy who will learn your favorite flower, your favorite song, your favorite sweet. And even if he is too poor to give you any of them, it won't matter because he will have taken the time to know you as no one else does. Only that boy earns your heart. How cute is that? Think about that.
Oh, I'm thinking. So this was posted the same day as the video I just showed you, and she said, "This is the best quote I've ever read in my life," which, you know, as I always say, give a bit of leeway. You can find golden nuggets, you know, in dirt sometimes, so I'll give her that. But people were just finding it a bit strange how she's taking this really popular book, especially on BookTok. It's massive over there, basically just shitting on it, and then a second later talking about how great the quotes are, so people were a tad bit confused. But she decided to post again that same day, but later on during the night time. And yeah, it went from, look at this book quote, I'm so happy, this is so cute, and then it goes to this.
I literally just said that this book keeps me entertained just enough to keep reading. Well, forget I even said that. Because I've been sitting here for like over an hour reading it. I mean, I'm either gonna become an alcoholic by the time this book is done, or I'm gonna DNF it. Because without this, I cannot finish it.
Love, if a book is making you an alcoholic, don't read it. I don't think you need the common sense for that. I think this more annoys people because, as I said, it is more of a well-loved book on BookTok, and she'll flip-flop back and forth, which is, you know, fair enough. She can post whatever she wants, but she's quite aggressive in the way that she does it, as if people are making her read this goddamn book when nobody is.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Six of Crows. Why? We're on a boat. Like, we're literally about to get to the ice court. Why the fuck? Everything I read is a flashback. I don't give a fuck about your previous life. I really fucking don't. I just want you to get to ice court, and I just want to read action, action, action. I don't care what you did as a child. Just get on with the fucking story, because I cannot take it any longer. And I also need a fucking refill. I mean,
yeah. As I've been saying about this, it's not necessarily her struggles or her opinions, kind of, that annoy people. It's more the fact that her attitude and the way that she's, I suppose, just being harsh and rude to her audience. As I showed you in, what was it, the second video, where she started swearing at everyone for trying to help her. You don't know what's going on. This makes a lot of sense when you find out that she is more of a romance kind of person. She got very, very angry that she ended up reading this because it wasn't what she's used to. She's used to kind of, you know, Wattpad-ish-esque hockey ice players and, I don't know, ice skaters, whatever else is going on. She's used to that sort of vibe. So, as I said, it's fair enough that she doesn't like it, but it's this next part which just makes her genuinely a terrible person.
it's a fucking heist, for God's sake. Like, a heist. Do I look like that's something I would enjoy? No.
You guys are gonna hate me for this one. I was really excited to read this book. I've seen everyone talk about how much spice there is in this book, and I love Dune, so I was really looking forward to it. I hated it. I hated every single second of this. There was no spice trade, so I'm really confused as to why everyone's saying this book has spice, but then also, there's no political intrigue at all. I honestly blame myself. I should have just DNF'd this halfway through, because halfway through, there was not a single sword fight.
So yeah, as I said, she got extremely angry that somebody suggested something that wasn't romance, which, I mean, is actually pretty common because people, they love a bit of romance and they recommend things that aren't exactly romantic, like Six of Crows. If you don't know, our main characters, they are traumatized. They have no room for spice, but somehow it's advertised that way. Obviously not by the author or the publishing company, but from a few BookTokers. So I don't know if she just bought the book expecting it to be romancy and she didn't read the back, or I don't know, something obviously got lost in translation. But the worst part of this is that she was allegedly, the video was deleted when I was researching for this, she was complaining about, obviously, that it was a heist and she hated that, but the worst part was that she was complaining that there was absolutely no spice. The characters are not age appropriate, really, which is a common thing actually. Why is everyone like 16 and everyone wants like a saucy spy scene? You're weirdos. But they are only 16-ish. One of them was assaulted So obviously she's not going to be, you know, wanting touch or anything. And then the other one has deep trauma, which means they can't touch people. Literally the whole thing is that he wears gloves because his trauma is so bad that he doesn't want to touch people. And she's read that and allegedly complained that there's no spice involved. To be fair though, I'm not going to get too deeply into it, but I think a lot of readers are actually deep, like, addicts. And instead of watching it, they desperately want to read it. And if there's not that level of extremity in the book, then they get mad. And I think there's something deeply concerning that they actually need to look into, especially when it's coming from books of teenagers talking about things that are deeply concerning. Colleen Hoover, what a disturbing woman. So, as you can tell, don't like her. Don't like her books. Don't like what she stands for. Not a nice lady. Her book adaptation movie has just come out and my god, what is going on with that? That is a genuine shit show. One of the worst things that are happening right now is, if you don't know, It Ends With Us. The whole premise of the book is abuse or violence. I'm not sure how much I can say on YouTube, so I'm just gonna imply it, but there is abuse. That's the borderline part of this story. But I think all bearing one cast member is advertising this as a cutesy bleating rom-com or like a romantic drama movie, and oh my god, it makes me genuinely question a lot of people's brain cells. And Blake Lively tried to turn this into her Barbie moment.
It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Grab your striped pajamas because you're not going to want to miss this. Bring your oxygen tanks because this movie is going to take your breath away. Grab your friends and get all dolled up. Wear your purple. Put on your bathing suit and get ready to take a bite out of this movie.
Do you see what I mean though? It's so tone deaf. What do you mean grab your florals? As if we're gonna go see Inside Out or something and we're dressing up as envy and anxiety. No! This is a movie about abuse. You can't dress up for that occasion. But the thing that makes this so much worse, personally, you know, entitled to your own opinion, Colleen Hoover is such a terrible woman. As I was saying about the inappropriate marketing for this movie, she has decided to capitalize on her movie, well, and her book, it was before her movie too, in different ways. So if you didn't know, she tried to create a colouring book based off her book about abuse. I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea, but obviously they didn't have any brain cells when that went. That had to have gone through so many people. Oh, it's just so stupid. So in the end, obviously it got cancelled and Colleen came out with a statement saying the colouring book was developed with Lee's strength in mind.
Oh God.
I'm not sure what strength you need to do a bit of colouring, but anyway, but I can absolutely see how this was tone deaf. Can you, Colleen? Can you really? Keep that in mind, right? I hear you guys and I agree with you. No excuses, no finger pointing. I have contacted the publisher to let them know I would prefer we don't move forward with it. Thank you for the respectful discourse and accountability. Nothing but love. So after that, this is what the publishing company also put out about the colouring book. HBO Books will not move forward with the publication of the official It Ends With Us colouring book. We developed this book to be uplifting and empowering. How can colouring be uplifting and inspiring? I don't understand. Mirroring Lily Bloom's story. We appreciate the feedback and discourse and have the greatest respect for Colleen Hoover's fans. Thank you for the honest conversation and passion for the world Colleen has created in her books and her characters within. Her characters are absolutely terrible. Seriously, if you swap out, I don't know, the abusive character with a character from her other book that's not marketed as abuse, they are exactly the same, but because it's not got that underlying theme, it's seen as sexy, so you can't convince me any of her books are good. I saw a comment actually that said that Colleen Hoover books are for people who didn't discover Wattpad when they were 13. So, you know, that got cancelled. That was put out and advertised only last year, right? So you'd think with all of that backlash that Colleen learned her lesson. We were wrong. So from the success of her book being turned into a movie, she decided she doesn't want to put colour onto her page. No, that's silly. That's inappropriate. No. She decided instead to put colour on your nails, so you can read about abuse while painting your nails the same colour as Lily's bruises. So this is her standing very, very proudly against nail polish and fake nails based off of her books. Accountability, she said. Where? She obviously did not learn her lesson. This was a year later, probably even like 6 months, 8 months. She obviously did not learn a single thing. I was scrolling through the comments of this post and I have a comment and it said, "I have read all of your books, love them all. The problem is, now I can't find a good book to read." Well, you obviously haven't looked very far enough, have you? There's so many better books than Colleen bloody Hoover books. Now, I didn't know this, but I can access the Target website from my home, which I'll definitely be going through this later. I didn't know you could do that, but I got it up to look at these nail polishes. So let's do some shopping together to see what color I can make my nails. So this is the Target website where I can see the nail polishes. Here they are in all of their glory. So you've got It Ends With Us, which they're all out of stock. Why? Why would you waste your money on this? Seriously. You got Heartbones as well, if you fancied. You got It Starts With Us. And you've got November 9th, if you wanted a bit of incest on the side. So I was looking through this and I was looking at the names, which are just equally as up there as you would expect. So this one, from the It Ends With Us nail polish. One of them is Brave Blush. And the other one is Lily Blooms, which I still can't believe that's actually her name. I'm just genuinely in awe that she decided to come out with this range. Nobody told her to do this, seriously. But yeah, I suppose it just makes sense, doesn't it? Considering who Colleen is with, you know, the whole advertising of her book based on DV. Because apparently her son allegedly assaulted somebody and she you know, kind of swept it under the rug and was horrible to the victim. So it just makes sense from her, doesn't it? So that is everything that has been haunting me for the past couple of days. I think that's it from me today. Hopefully this video actually made a bit of sense. I didn't have it too planned out. I kind of just rabbited on at you, so I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave any comments down below. I'll be sure to check every single one out, and I will see all of you in my next video.